Our next speaker is my good colleague, Mark Welsh. When we started on the GenComm journey over 6 years ago, one of our first supporters was Mark Welsh with Energia. Mark is a chartered energy manager with the Energy Institute. He has over 40 years experience within the energy sector. His engineering career has touched on most areas of the electricity industry, which has given him a very wide knowledge and experience. Commencing in Belfast Power Station, his career has included Northern Ireland Electricity, metering, electrical design, installation, terms of supply, industrial scales, key account management, energy marketing, projects, and energy efficiency. His bio goes on for about another 4 or 5 paragraphs, which I'm not going to read out. But GenComm wouldn't be in the position it's in without our supporters, without our key supporters and our partners, of which Energia is one of the founding blocks. Mark, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Paul. And so my role is just to give an update on the GenComm Northern Ireland pilot, which is our wind to energy, and just discuss a second project, which is the Office of Low Emission Vehicles, or OLEV project, which is delivering 3 buses and a hydrogen refueling station into Belfast. And I also want to touch on some of the work that we have been in developing the hydrogen market within Ireland, and discuss some of the skills and training that's required, to ensure that we deliver the long-term stability for the hydrogen infrastructure. I suppose our objective with GenComm was always to have this message going out about the hydrogen economy, and when it was generated from renewables, how that could play a part in a low carbon solution going forward. Using electrolyzers, as we have been discussing, will deliver a fuel that's 100% carbon free and can be used in vehicles and cooking and heating. And we wanted to get that message out as part of GenComm. We wanted to speak to government, we wanted to speak to industry, and we wanted to develop an understanding of what hydrogen could deliver. And over these last few years, we've seen that coming to fruition. We've seen that in reality, that people are now accepting that a zero emission hydrogen can be the way forward. But just to go back onto our two projects, I just want to give you just a very brief update of where we are, and what we have described it as is a wind to wheel project. Where we will be producing the hydrogen from renewable wind and delivering it onto the buses so that we can drive around the streets, in this case in Belfast. And we will be installing a 500 kilowatt electrolyzer on one of our wind farms. It's at Long Mountain, which is just north of Ballymena, which was important for us at the time because buses are being manufactured by Wrightbus within Ballymena, and we thought that was key just to be there. But also we wanted a wind farm of a particular size. The size of the wind farm was important in this case because we wanted to have a demand of about 1 megawatt. So the size of the wind farm being 30 megawatt was important to us because that would maximize the efficiency of using the curtailed and constrained wind. Now, the point of the pilot is to maximize the efficiency of the wind farm. So it will not be until it's installed where we get a complete understanding. But the idea is to use the curtailed wind as often as possible, so that effectively it's zero cost for the energy. We're storing the hydrogen in trailers, and these are road trailers. So what we're going to do is deliver them to the fueling station, and that's the second part of our project, the second project, which is the OLEV project, and we're going to install a hydrogen refueling station. As that's actually going to be in a depot in Translink's site, and that's going to fuel 3 double deck buses. Okay, so from this slide, I just wanted to get three messages from this slide. Is first of all that we do need, we are developing this renewable solution, this hydrogen solution, but we do need strong energy policy to deliver. In Northern Ireland, actually, I believe this is happening. From what I'm seeing and what I'm reading, we're going through the current energy strategy. There's a lot of information that's coming back. There's a lot of information that is being sent out. And the Northern Ireland government are looking at developing an energy strategy. And I believe that that they will deliver on a zero carbon emission policy that's going to work for the renewable energy sector within Northern Ireland and indeed the rest of Ireland. High value jobs will come, but we need to ensure that there is the skills and the training to upskill the existing workforce to ensure that we can look after and maintain and operate these equipment. And I have to say, we have had really good support from our local councils, especially Mid and East Antrim, Antrim Newton Abbey and Belfast City Councils, who are standing alongside us and looking to deliver solutions for this training. And one of the third things for me, this crisis has shown us the importance of energy security. It's important that we are able to to generate and produce the fuel that we need as a country to run our gas, electricity, and transport networks. And if we can produce the gas on the island and use it on the island, it's going to increase the security of energy going forward. So I just want to give an update of where we are in each of the parts of the project. Firstly, on the electrolyzer, it's being manufactured in Paris. It was due to be delivered in September. To be honest, due to the crisis, the factory was closed for a few months, so there will be a 2 or 3 month delay within it. But the designs are going ahead. The suppliers are all being contacted. The aim is to have it delivered by the end of the year. You're seeing a picture at the moment of a unit which is very similar to our unit. It's in the factory, just about to be delivered, and you can see that's a high-tech piece of kit. We're going to need highly skilled technicians to maintain, to run, to operate this equipment. It's not something you just put in and forget about. It's something that requires highly skilled operatives. So there's really good high-value jobs, high-value knowledge that's needed to operate these systems. The second stage, of course, is the trailers. Trailers are being manufactured in Spain, and again, Spain has suffered from the crisis, but the factory is now open, and we expect again delivery in September and October. We want to use the existing fuel transport and delivery network. There's already diesel tankers out there that are delivering fuel. We want to use that network to make sure that we hold on to those those value jobs that are there. So hopefully one tanker will displace one tanker of diesel, and make sure that we're not impacting on the jobs situation within Northern Ireland. For the fueling station and buses, the fueling station is being built in Edinburgh. Again, the factory was on part-time working because of the crisis. They're now getting back up to the full spec, and we expect the delivery in September, October, and that's depending on the suppliers. Most of the equipment is in stock: the compressor, the storage tubes, the fueling nozzle is due to come in on time. So it's a positive story as far as the fueling station is concerned, and we're aiming that will for a delivery to coincide with the trailers. The buses, again, they are made from Wrightbus. Wrightbus are now back up to operation. I think they started about 10 days ago, and again we're expecting delivery in September, October, and we're seeing, hopefully we'll see all the parts come together quite well. Present, both TransLink and ourselves have started the HAZOPs. We're going through all the vehicles and the systems, going through in detail every part of that infrastructure, ensuring safe operation and process. And I know Paul's already mentioned, but Peter Waters is leading this process, and he is one of the most he is the highest quality gas engineer within the highest expert within Ireland. Okay, so delivering, can we deliver on this hydrogen? I believe that we can. Currently, our renewable supply is sitting around about 40% renewables on the system on the average of the year. If we introduce offshore wind, if we have marine wave and tidal energy, which hopefully will be developed over this next 10 years, I believe that we can reach 100%. And with that will be high levels of curtailment and constrained energy, which I believe can be used for producing hydrogen. For heat, with the ramping up of AD gas, of hydrogen blend with biomethane, which is a blend of CO2 and hydrogen, I believe that 100% of renewable gas, and it's not all going to be hydrogen, will be possible. For transport, I also believe that 100% can be achieved. It's not going to be hydrogen on its own. It's going to be a mix of electric vehicles and hydrogen fuel cell, with the larger vehicles being for fuel cell than our cars, and the short journeys will be EV. So hydrogen will deliver. It's not the full answer, but it can work. Thank you very much.
So, Mark, thank you very much for that. It's always good if you're speaking to make sure you unmute your mic. But as we said at the start, we're live and we get these things. Michael K asks, Mark, should HRS be located in public areas rather than inside a bus depot so that other users of FCEVs can access the hydrogen and thus reduce the cost by increasing the utilisation factor?
Yes, 100%. Part two of our phase two of the project would be to move the refueling station to another public location. We didn't do it in this stage because there are no other vehicles at the moment. But once that vehicle start coming along, phase two was to move into another area.
Question two, also from Stephen Robinson, and part of it's been answered by Louisa and some of the other people engaging in the chat. But today is very important because we're not just experts, we're not even experts, but the group is a forum, as Ian said earlier on. Louisa asked Mark, or Stephen Robinson asked, can the O2 generate enough revenue to contribute to the cost of running the electrolyzer?
Yeah, the oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been talking to a number of companies over the years. We've been talking to quarries. We've been talking to some chemical companies, and we haven't got a market for it as yet. There are a number of opportunities that are being researched at the moment within the water industry. Some companies have been talking to us about introducing oxygen into our sewage system. For example, would be another solution, but they haven't just come to the fore just as yet. But once the oxygen is there and available, we'll be starting to look further into these opportunities.
We have a question from Benjamin, which just opens the doors wider for now you to engage, Mark. Benjamin asks, what role should tidal, wave and other ocean energy take in the hydrogen transition, in your opinion?
Well, there's a lot of development works needed, but in my opinion, it is essential. There's 200 megawatt has already been given planning permission of the coast, of the north coast, and it's a shame that has not been used, because that would show us how that could be developed and used. When you have tidal and wave energy, you know exactly when you're going to get the energy. And it's got to be part of the mix going forward to get 100% renewables. One
of the reasons we started GenComm was when we looked at the amount of wind turbines that had planning permission couldn't develop because the grid connection was too expensive. And whilst grid saturation is a problem in Ireland and the UK, it's not as much a problem in mainland Europe. But Mark, as the cost of electrolyzers start to fall, how do you see the standalone grid turbines and grid independence then become an increasing factor in hydrogen production?
Yeah, at the end, Paul, as we know, cost is going to be everything. and once the manufacturing base gets kicked off, we will see that price coming down. I think it has to happen regardless of the cost. We've had a crisis with a virus. We don't want to have another crisis with our climate. So we need to be moving forward. And as the hydrogen industry develops, costs will come down. I think Rory was showing we'll have that levelized, equalizing cost coming by 2030.
Excellent. Just to answer some of the other questions coming through, all contact details for the speakers online and our experts offline, including Peter Waters, Dr. Pau Farah from Galway, and Dr. James Carton from DCU, they'll all be available through the GenComm website, from the Community Hydrogen Forum website, and in the follow-up slides available on Friday. The recordings will also be available next week when we have them edited. So today, as we said, is only a step on a journey. It's how we all engage. It's how we all contribute to the European energy solution and make sure the crisis that we're currently in on the CO2 and the climate change, we address that moving forward.